Hey, good morning everyone. We are back again. We are now working on video number 3 on Kevin's Dodge Charger sign. So on the last video we got all of the lettering done, the background on the lettering on the outset letters, all of the inset letters done. Now we were going to work on our border. Now originally we had a 2-inch border on here. You can see the original line, but after looking at the thing and Ryan and I kind of discussing it, that just seemed like it was too much of a border. What we're going to do is we're going to do a background border all the way around. So I'm going to use the 90-degree bit. We've backed that off now to, oh, that's a little over an inch, maybe an inch and an eighth, basically. So that's, I'm going to hit the outside of this line with the 90, and then we're going to do our standard background like we did here on the border all the way around. I think it's going to look pretty good. Be a nice kind of just highlight to the whole board. So I'm going to pull these lines using my fingers on the underside, writing on the edge. I've done that many times. So I'll just do one side here, and then we'll do the rest of it off camera. But here we go. All right, there you go, guys. So that's what we're going to do all the way around the other 3 edges. We'll do that off camera. Then when we come back, we'll be getting closer, ready to spray this thing and sand it off, see what it's going to look like. Stay with us. All right, guys. Now it's getting exciting, and now it's time to spray this thing. All the carving is done. It's time to spray it, sand it off, and see what this thing looks like. So what we're doing on this, being as, you know, obviously Kevin's car is as purple as you can get. This is a color that I've had for a while, and it's called, what is it, Sweet Fig, and it's a really neat purple color.
Oh, I thought it said Sweet Pig. I was like, sweet
No,
I've never seen a purple pig before.
Well, you ain't lived. Anyway, so Sweet Fig, yes, with an F, Fig. And it's really a neat purple color, and that's what we're going to do, all the color in that. And I think it'll be a nice addition to the sign, and kind of, you know, be right in that whole purple motif. So we're going to leave it laying flat. The wind is kind of blowing, so we'll kind of see how this works. Now, this is a paint. It's a matte finish, but it's a paint. So I do want to kind of be aware that I don't want to overspray. So I'm probably going to put 2 really light coats. And the thing about this too is it doesn't dry near as fast as the primer. So it takes, it'll probably take, a half hour to an hour to dry. And then we'll sand it off. Oh, looks like we got a chip in there. I don't like that. Should have blown it off a little bit better. Again, like I say, the wind is blowing, so there's all kinds of stuff blowing around. We're actually going to do the edge as well. The edge and the border as well. But I really like that purple. I think that's going to match the color of the car. Not quite as spectacular as the car, obviously, but I think it's going to look pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know if the camera does it justice. Dad sent me a picture of it before, and it looked a little dull, but in live, it looks pretty nice. And I think once we put the clear coats on it, it's going to pop good.
I think it will. I will. All right, we're going to finish the rest of this up off camera. When we come back, we'll be sanding. So stick with us. All right, guys, let's do some sanding. So it's all dry. I put 2 light coats on here, and I think I got pretty good coverage. I'm going to use the disc sander, and I've got an 80 on here. I've got to be really careful because I didn't carve too deep because of the small letters. And so I got to be really careful because this stuff is super soft. So this will require a light touch. Let's hope I can pull that off. Here we go. Well, that's a testimony to those Klingspor discs. That, I don't think if that had been anything but a Klingspor disc, I don't think it would have lasted. That was a lot. That was a lot of sanding. And that the thing about that matte finish, that purple matte finish, or any color like that, it tends to plug up the discs more than just the primer. So anyway, that's something to be aware of, guys. And that's the reason so it's kind of a fine line between, this is a very soft wood, but yet I wanted to not have to take forever to sand it off, so I had to be really light touch with an 80 grit rather than a 60. A lot of times I would have used a 60. If this was a hard board like walnut or maple or cherry, I would have used a 60, but this stuff is so soft, I just had to have a real light touch and go with an 80 grit. But the other thing is that, I don't know if you guys saw how many times I used that belt cleaner, but it was a bunch, and it would have been, gosh, that would have been a dozen discs easy if I had that belt cleaner. Anyway, all right, so now 120 with the random orbital. Here we go. Whoa, baby, that's a lot of sanding. All right. I think it's time to reveal. I think I'll... Want me to leave it down just like that?
No. Tilt it up just a little bit.
About like that?
Hard to see.
Or is it too bright?
You know what? Hang on, let's try this. Nope, that didn't help at all.
It's just we're getting
just
glare off out of there.
Here, do you want me to lift it up? And
Well,
there we go. Yeah, I think that looks better. Yeah.
okay. Now, do you want to adjust that one?
No, I turned that one off. Your battery's
Oh, okay.
almost dead.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah, go ahead and turn that.
That looks pretty stinking good.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I think once we put clear on it, we've got a couple little high spots that we'll have to use that Sweet Pig purple and touch up, probably put it on a little paintbrush and touch up some of these high spots. Then when we come back, we'll put a clear on it and see how that purple looks with clear on it. We'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to put some coats of clear on there to seal it up. We'll probably put 2 or 3 coats all together to seal it all up before we put our flood coat of epoxy on. So I'm obviously going to do the front and the back and the edges all the way around. Just for you guys, for the camera, I'm just going to do the front, but I will do the edges and the back as well. We won't be putting a flood coat on the back, but we definitely got to put a finish on the back to seal it up all the way around. And the reason for this, again, for this clear, is just to kind of seal it up to hopefully eliminate any bubbles when we put our flood coat on.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
But it definitely makes the purple pop more, that's for sure.
Yeah, when you put that clear on, especially when the light hits it, I think it's going to really look spectacular with the resin on it. All right, you guys, so that is it for that. The wind's blowing, so I'm just trying to be careful this thing doesn't fall. So that is it for that. What we're going to do now is when you guys come back, then we will be doing the flood coat. We're going to end up putting at least 3 coats of clear on this just to completely make sure it's sealed up before we put our flood coat. So stick with us. When we come back, we'll be putting a flood coat and putting those pictures in there. So hang with us, guys. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we are ready to pour our resin on Kevin's charger sign here. So we don't have a bin big enough to do all the resin. We needed 32 ounces. So Vicky's got 16, I've got 16.
And we're using the tabletop, Total Boat tabletop.
Yep.
1-to-1.
So we've got it blocked off on the edge. The reason for that is that because of the way I did the edge, we don't want it all running off the border. So we're going to do it, we're going to get this all on here, and then, what do you think, babe, an hour?
We'll give it about an hour, and then we'll pull the tape off.
And so then it will be pretty solidified, and the theory is that it won't all run off the edge.
Yeah, we did the same thing on the clay guida cutting board that we did. And how many coats of clear do you have on here?
Oh yeah, I put three or 4 coats of just the clear lacquer with a can.
Prevent the bubbles.
Yeah, to try and seal it up so we didn't get too many bubbles. I generally don't have too much problems with air bubbles coming out of this redwood, but better safe than sorry, so to speak.
I see bubbles. I do see some bubbles.
Yeah, I do too. But I think they're bubbles from the resin,
Yeah,
from the mixing the resin.
Let it set for a few minutes. And then I'm not going to take the torch to it. I'm going to take the heat gun to it because it's a huge area.
We sure mixed enough, didn't we?
Yep.
You got all yours on there?
Yep.
That's going to look really nice.
So now, I mean, what's the next step after this? What are we
Well,
doing?
we're going to let it, again, let it set for like an hour and get it, it's still going to be tacky, let it set up. We're going to peel the tape off, and then we're going to put our pictures in there. We're going to set our pictures on there so the pictures will be, you know, set on the resin.
We wanted to get just tacky enough so that the pictures aren't sliding around as the resin moves.
Yeah.
Clear that hand. Now I'm going to grab my heat gun.
Oh, is it over here?
Yep. The other way. There we go.
Right here, Mom, Nope.
Okay.
I did a pretty nice job of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
see a little bit of thing going on in that
Yeah.
area right there. But,
Well,
oh, yeah, a couple
there's a
little
few little
spots.
ones, but that's all right. Well,
We'll just stay with it.
yeah. So we'll just keep checking it every 10 or 15 minutes for the next hour or so. And then depending on how much it's kind of thickened up, then we'll decide when we're going to take that off.
Yeah, and oh, I thought I missed a spot there. But
No, it's full. It's pretty, it's
looks like it's all the
self-leveling.
way to the edge.
Yeah.
So again, the idea is that we get it, the resin solid enough so it doesn't just run off the edge, that it will just kind of roll over the edge. So anyway, that's what's worked for us in
That's
the
my
past.
story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, it's worked for us in the past.
It's one thing when you put these little periods, the bubbles like to come up in there.
Oh yeah, you can see a few of them.
But that's all right. We'll just let them come up, and trying to force them up and get the resin down in there. Where's the other one I saw? There it is.
I think right above owners.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on it.
Okay, guys, so we'll be back in a minute, and you'll see where we're at then. Hey, guys, all right. You know what? We did our pour on Kevin's Charger sign, and I want to show you what it looks like. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, boy. Yeah, it's not quite what we hoped for. We have some problems. So, it could be phrased a lot of different ways, but I'll keep it clean. We've got this mass of gunk right here that obviously we've got a lot of different bubbles and areas on the border. For the most part, the bottom half of the sign, we've got a couple little areas that we're going to have to grind out, bubbles down in there, but not too bad. That's something we can deal with. This, however, pretty much ruins the whole thing. So we've got to either toss this thing and start over, or we fix this thing. And I don't want to start over. Just don't. Because for the most part, I think there are solutions to our issues here. And Ryan and I have been talking about it. So it appears we're going into a fourth video, guys, because we've got some fixing to do on this thing. So, yeah.
But it's a good teaching opportunity.
Yeah,
Assuming we don't mess it up again.
Yeah, assuming that we can fix it, and we're hoping that we can. We have some ideas. So anyway, guys, we were hoping this would wrap this thing up, but it ain't, obviously. It won't. So we'll be on to a fourth video. You'll see that whenever these videos play, we'll play them in succession. So our next posted video, whether it's a Monday or a Wednesday, the next one after this will be either the fix or it'll be a burning party. Or we'll get out the hammers and just go after it.
There we go.
Yeah, or the moss burn.
Yeah, either way it'll be fun.
Yeah, either way it'll be entertaining. So stick with us, guys. We'll get this thing done, hopefully. And it's a good thing is that he doesn't really need this for about another month and a half, which is good. That's good. So I'm glad we did it early. We don't
really cut into our fishing time.
Yeah, that's right. No more questions on the water. Anyway, guys, that is what it is. We're gonna do what we can to fix this thing. So stick with us. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, email me directly. And don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell icon. If you need supplies, there's the website. Don't forget about our premium membership and our executive membership. And oh yeah, website's right up here. Yeah, you'll see that little card thing. Yeah. Ryan knows all about those things. All right, so anyway, that's it. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one. We love you guys. Bye.